Private equity industry had significant expectations from the finance minister, and it appears that he's lived up to most of them. The first and foremost is the expectation around deferral of GAR. The GAR has been deferred for 2 years. Not only the GAR has been deferred, but it has also clarified that any investments which will be made till 31st March 2017 will not be subjected to Indian taxes, and the GAR would not apply. The second significant change is about the pass-through status for category 1 and 2 AIFs. This is again a very welcome change and a long-standing demand from the industry. It is clarified that capital gains and interest income earned by category 1 and category 2 AIFs will not be taxable in the hands of the AIF. It will be taxable only in the hands of the investor. There is a 10% withholding tax which has been levied with respect to the distributions that these trusts make to the investors. The third important change is with respect to the indirect transfer provisions, where the small shareholders which are holding say less than 5% stake in an offshore company, the transfer of such securities would not be subjected to Indian taxes. This is again a very welcome change for transactions that limited partners of the offshore funds make. The fourth change, which is again very significant, is with respect to the permanent establishment exposure that the activities of the fund manager create for an offshore fund in India. The change has come with several conditionalities, and the conditionalities are very onerous and may not really make this provision very effective. So for example, the offshore fund cannot have more than 25 investors. Each investor cannot hold more than 10% stake in the fund. Top 10 investors cannot hold more than 50% stake in the fund. The conditions like the investment cannot be more than 20% of the corpus in one investing company. All these conditions are very onerous, and it will be very difficult to implement this particular modification in an effective manner. The couple of last changes, few changes. One is with respect to residency of the foreign companies. Now it has been clarified that foreign companies would be treated as Indian residents if the place of effective management of those companies are in India. So that again would become a big challenge for the foreign funds, where there are significant Indian fund managers who would manage this particular offshore funds. Again, the last point is about the applicability of minimum alternate tax to the foreign funds. They have clarified that FIIs are not subject to the MAT provisions, but that actually implies that foreign companies are subject to MAT provisions, and without any specific exclusions to the private equity funds, these funds could be subject to MAT. So this is one again very important change where representations will need to be made to the government to clarify this particular thing. I think this covers the significant changes for private equity sector. Thank you.